Hey everybody, before we begin episode 27, just want to say a quick thank you just for being such a great loyal listener and a great group of people that we have listening to our show. We're also going to have John Negroni, author of The Pixar Theory, on next week's episode. Now we record usually earlier before the weekend, so our deadline for questions for John about anything Pixar related or how these movies can be connected, like The Pixar Theory, it's going to be Friday the 23rd before 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So get your questions into the guy who literally wrote the book on the Pixar Theory. Also, go ahead and pick up the book. It's only $7 in a digital format. It is at slimbooks.com/Pixar Theory. That's slimbooks.com/Pixar Theory. Can't wait to have John on for next episode. And please send us your questions. Now, on to the show.
So today in this episode, we argued about Back to the Future, future technology, why hoverboards don't exist, and breakfast foods. Oh, and CJ's coin sucks.
So I have made a pact that I am actually not going to watch Flash or Arrow until Brian finally finishes just one of the damn series that he said, oh yeah, I'm totally going to watch it.
So now I'm not going to finish any of them.
Just one. I don't know why.
You're only hurting yourself in the end.
No, I mean, you committed to watching Deadwood. You haven't done that.
Nope. He's rewatching Doctor Who. Hasn't finished that somehow.
Yeah, you got to wrap that up.
Like, there's so many things that you're like, yeah, no, I'm watching that too, and I'm watching this. I'm watching Limitless. Why? Is it any good? No, not really. Okay, then why are you watching it?
It's just on in the living room when I'm doing crap.
So put
for the
something else on. Put Doctor Who on and finish it. Put Deadwood on and stop doing other shit.
I have a roommate that I have to also think about.
You have your own room. You don't have to coexist TV-wise with him. Watch your own stuff.
Yeah, but I don't need to be a hermit.
That's true, too. You live with somebody, you just pretty much hang out. You know what I mean? You're not... I'm gonna watch what I want to watch in this room, and you're gonna watch what you want to watch there. That's not having a roommate. That's being married. So
wow,
that's not.
Well, I mean, if you met Ben, I mean,
I'm not married to him.
That's true. He's not married to Ben. You just married him down.
A word, yeah,
and married Ben way up.
The integers are all off.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Integers are all off. All wrong.
Just incorrect in all falsehoods.
But I did watch the first hour of Heroes Reborn, and I was very, very sad for Chuck Bartowski.
Yeah, right?
What happens to Chuck? Spoiler alert, but I don't give a shit.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. That's awesome.
And I'm watching it like, no, Chuck, no.
It's interesting to see the kind of character he is in this.
You can't do that. You didn't flash on anything. Sarah's not here. You can't do that. And I am very confused because I love Heroes so much. But I don't know that I could see Zachary Levi as a villain. Like in my brain, he's like the purest of the good guys.
He really is. Yeah. Keep watching it. He's interesting to watch.
Well, and I get, I'm sure there's some inner whatever because of, the Noah Bennett story. They can't all be all bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Nobody was all bad. So
right.
I'm just, initial shock.
It's every actor's thing. They want to play the bad guy, and the fact that Zachary
whatever,
Levi
dude,
that's pretty good.
He's Chuck. He can't.
From a guy who said I don't want to watch that show at all. Like, please don't make me watch Chuck. You're getting really attached to Mr. Bartowski there.
I watched it once. He's a great character. You're telling me like.
No, I'm just. You gave such pushback against starting Chuck that I just like hearing.
I'm still. Look, it's not a great show. It's a good show, but some of those characters, man, I cannot even some. Chuck made you love him,
right?
Made you love him,
absolutely.
And they're most of the other characters' storylines not great. Obviously, they couldn't get Seth Green, so they got that little guy there. And said, do your best Seth Green impression. But it's not like most of it was kind of crap, but Chuck he's a great character.
Nice guy.
Oh, thanks. Chuck is me.
Right.
Just without all the cool spy gear.
That makes Ben Morgan.
And
Yeah.
what does that make the cats? Everyone from the nerd herd?
Oh yeah, Lester,
God, it
Lester,
does.
and
Lester.
Sure.
Jeffster.
It makes the cats Jeffster.
It makes the cats Jeffster.
Can you change both cats' name to Jeffster?
Please.
I can't, no. They respond to Mac and Pumpkin.
Can you start calling them Jeffster?
I will. I definitely will.
I'm sure if you call one cat nothing but Jeff and the other one nothing but Lester for 30 days, they will start responding to either Jeff and Lester or Jeffster.
But do it casually so Ben's not really noticing. Just do it casually.
Absolutely. I'll get right to work on that.
Get Ben bought in on it.
He's not going to get bought in on it. You kidding me?
As a science experiment, take notes. Day 1 was told to fuck off. Day 2, more the same. Day 30, one of them turned his head when I said Lester. Can't tell if it was Jeff or Lester.
Cannot distinguish the cats. But remember, ladies, even though we're having this experiment, the cat to male ratio is very low.
Quite low.
Quite low. Barely non-existent.
Pleasingly so.
I know Melissa and Paul will thank you for that.
Yes. Yes, they will.
By the way, I would also like to encourage you to tweet at Brian. The cat to male ratio is very low. His Twitter handle will be in the show notes. Please just go ahead and blow up his Twitter feed. He doesn't do anything with Twitter, so let's blow it up with the cat to male ratio is very low. That's enough for 140 characters. I think you're fine.
Your Twitter handle, what is your Twitter?
At BA Thornton 160.
There you go.
What's the 160 about?
None of your freaking business. That's what it's about.
Okay, now also tweet what's the 160. I can do this all day. Just make Twitter campaigns. It's not a problem with me. I know I just started to rewatch The Office and was so surprised how quickly I'm on to season 5 already.
I need to do that.
And it's so fun to see the character development for this because I really hated Michael Scott at first. Like, really hated him. And now I love him. Lovable
You
son
can't
of a bitch.
help but love him. He's trying to be a good guy. He just is horrible.
I love Dwight though. I'm like absolutely in love with Dwight.
Really?
Why?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because Dwight's an a-hole and
the
CJ
guy-
responds to that.
Wow. Thanks. You know, I'm not even going to explain why. Whatever.
Oh
Just
my
'cause I do.
gosh, can we have a Jim Dwight relationship? I'm going to put all your shit in Jell-O at work.
Bears beats Battlestar
Galactica.
Oh, good old days. Brian, are you watching anything? No, because you can't finish a project. Someone's like, hey, Brian, you should watch The Wire. And I was like, don't give him another television project, please. He can't even make it through the simplest tasks.
He should watch The Wire.
I know, but he can't even finish Deadwood. How is he supposed to devote time to The Wire?
I don't know.
That's not a show that you just casually watch.
I will finish all of these things
Laura
in due time.
has tailed off on The Wire. Like, I think the
What season?
Politician season 3. I think the political
tough.
stuff is
That season's a little rough. You just gotta keep going.
I loved every season.
And
so
not
that's
yell
an
Littlefinger every time you see him on the screen.
issue.
Littlefinger! Oh well. So I stumbled upon this wonderful website to stop all the photoshopping, memeing, and other shenanigans about Back to the Future because it's 2015, and this is the year in which Marty McFly comes to the future. And there's a wonderful website. It's a very long URL, but it's is today the day Marty McFly arrives when he travels to the future.com. If you go to it and it is before October 21st, the simple word no will appear on there, saying that the day that Marty McFly travels Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2 is in fact October 22nd, 2015, which is
October
about
21st.
October 21st. What am I just saying? I'm saying nonsense. That's what I'm saying. October 21st. So, for those of you listening, hey, we're in the future. Isn't that cool? Where the fuck are my hoverboards and my flying cars? Why don't we have this?
Yeah. I still have a problem with you thinking the hoverboards and the flying cars are the best thing in the future. Like,
You really just
just-
want that dehydrated food. It really.
I want it to be that simple. I want just to put a little pellet in a thing and a pizza.
Do you know if you don't have that, you know what would save you a lot of time? Flying and hovering. It would.
I don't think so because all the traffic is in the air.
It would make up for all the time. Well, you don't have to build a road if you're in the air. The only
Yes,
reason the
you
roads
don't
get
need
really
roads.
congested is because there's pathways and roads that you have to take. It's the fucking air.
There would still be some sort of
There needs to be some
But what
sort
I'm
of
saying is,
order.
if you want to make a new, for instance, if you need to make something a 3-lane highway instead of a 2-lane highway, 5 years later after you said we should do that, it's about halfway done because we live.
It's like
in
you never
Pennsylvania.
saw The Fifth Element. How much congestion was there?
But that was in a major city.
Yeah, it was.
I said that was in a major city.
It's in Hill Valley, like a suburb of Los Angeles or something.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
So, but
So,
I mean,
like
we're
the
not gonna
worst
have that
highways,
kind
the
of-
worst highways in the world,
Right.
like the worst highways anywhere, and we're gonna take all that to the sky because what they've done is industrialize where the highways used to be. They've torn them down and
Right.
industrialized, right? Or built Section 8 housing in like Back to the Future. But
Right.
all the traffic's in the sky, like The Fifth Element, and you're just sitting there, getting whatever.
See, I'm just saying,
like,
if you need to open a new lane,
And
you
then
just-
some naked chick with orange hair jumps in your back seat,
yeah,
and then you go on a sweet chase.
Lilu Dallas multipass.
Multipass.
Yeah. She knows it's a multipass.
if you need to make a new lane, you move a cone or a beacon 5 feet to your right, and ta-da, there's a whole other lane.
We're totally past your argument. No one cares.
Listen, when people made other lanes, you know what happened? They went down into the belly of the beast, into the express lane. Martha
Yeah.
almost got stuck there.
Very true.
That's what I'm
Very
saying. So that's what happens when you create extra lanes.
God, I wish Martha got stuck in there.
That's awful.
Why couldn't she die from the exhaust fumes? Like
We're
a good
never
person?
gonna make it to the fast lane. People live their whole lives on that highway. That's your fault, CJ.
Thanks. Ah, man, I almost killed Martha. Damn it, I was so close.
What if hoverboard technology eventually leads to dehydrated food? Then we can all be happy.
There you go. I don't know how that connects.
I'm
but
not
okay,
sure it's
there
the
you
same
go.
science. Yeah, I don't
listen.
think
I'm sorry. Do you have a degree in science? Great. Neither do I. So it could be happening. You
I
never
actually do have a bachelor's of science.
know. Bachelor's of like hoverboard science,
Of
because I don't think so.
science.
Hey, you asked if I had a degree in science, and my degree
bachelor's.
most definitely says science on it, not
true.
arts
Very
like
true.
somebody else in this room.
Ooh, calling somebody out.
Oh no. I'm so sorry I'm creative. I'm sorry, do you know how to do a podcast? No.
Listen.
You're welcome.
Your piece of paper saying arts doesn't automatically give you +5 to creativity.
I do
yes, it does.
know how to do a podcast. What I do is I record my voice, hurl it at you.
And then
becomes a
magically
That is how I record a podcast. I know. See?
and
I delegate.
I had always thought that dogs laid eggs. And now I learned something.
Dogs don't lay
Why do you
eggs.
have to kill everything like that?
That's what I do. CJ Nolan, moment killer. Nice to meet you.
Oh, God.
That's what I do. But so seriously, you don't give a crap about flying cars. You rather just have dehydrated food.
Well, I wouldn't want flying cars. That's for sure.
What if it
You're
was a
assuming
mixture?
that everyone qualifies to be a pilot.
No,
It's not the same.
No, people don't even qualify to drive a car that have.
That's
a
what
license.
I'm saying. So why don't we just stick to driving? the
Because if we
cars?
have the people who do qualify, like the three of us, we wouldn't have to be like fucking peasants on the road.
you
like
don't want me
peasants,
flying
Josh.
a
Peasants.
vehicle,
Peasants.
and you can't steal my word. It's my word. It doesn't even sound mean coming from you. It
What
sounds like
fucking peasants.
It
Josh.
sounds like a
peasants.
plight. Like help the poor.
You can't just enunciate the P and expect
I'm gonna
it to
keep
sound
doing
even
it.
meaner.
Peasants.
It doesn't work.
Nope.
Sorry.
It
Can you at
doesn't.
least give us hoverboards? Lexus has made a hoverboard in air quotes. If you could see me, air quotes.
He
hoverboard.
because he's better on a skateboard than a hoverboard. Like he got stalled out over water on the hoverboard.
Well, you can't take
you
a
can't take
hoverboard
a
over water.
and you can't take a
should
skateboard over
know
water.
that.
Why would you go by water?
Why can't you take a? I mean, isn't that where the like hovering started? Was over water. That was sort of the whole point of hovering at first, was over water.
You're talking about just in general, not in the movie?
I mean,
Yes,
birds hovered at first. I think that water had nothing to do with it.
No, I mean like flight vehicles hovering started over water.
I think they did it over water so that when you fall, you don't die.
But that's where I'm saying it's possible.
But who needs to hover over water?
Hovering was possible in 1985. How can a hoverboard not hover in 2015? Hovering was possible in 85. How can a hoverboard not hover 30 years later?
It really depends on the mechanics of the hovering.
No.
It's a simple matter of weight ratios. A 2-ounce sparrow couldn't possibly carry a 1-pound coconut.
If he grips it by the husk.
Oh, well, right, yeah.
What if 2 swallows were carrying it together?
No, we're not doing this. Stop
Look,
us
I'm
right
just
there.
I'm just saying. I think that
Why does water have to be your big deal? Like,
because he got stuck over water.
okay,
Because it doesn't make sense. If you're
hold on, wait.
Why can't we have hoverboards? A, he's better on a skateboard. B, gets stuck over water and can't escape the bad guys. That's
because it's not all for Marty McFly. Where is my hoverboard? I'm not better on a skateboard. I want to hover. I want anti-gravity boots.
Something tells me you're not going to be good on a hoverboard either.
right.
Well, where's the thing that does inversion? So my hair's all flippy floppy, and I can feel better if I throw out my back.
Anti-gravity?
Well, he's hovering. He's not
What
really.
are you talking about?
Marty McFly's relatives in the house. Someone has their back hurt, and he's hanging upside down.
You can
Yeah,
get
that's
those now,
anti-gravity.
dude.
That's not
Just
hovering.
Gravity boots.
Right. I thought he was on a. Hold on. You're telling me you can't apply the same mechanics for a hoverboard? Just put on a larger instrument and let me hover. I don't need anti-gravity.
No, because
I just want hovering. I'm hovering upside
depends.
down. I don't see why that's illogical. That makes sense.
You're not hovering upside
That's
down.
hanging.
He was just upside down.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It's just hanging.
Well, all right. So put me in a little thing and hang me upside down for inversion therapy.
I'm going to hang you upside down in a moment.
I'm thinking about it.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Shake the shit out of you upside down.
Right.
No,
all
all
the
my
loose
all my change
falls out of your pocket.
my library card.
It wouldn't
what am I going to do?
It wouldn't be all the change. It would just be a big thunk from the little coin purse you keep in your pocket.
Hey, don't you mess with my coin purse. I can pelt somebody with that and get away.
Yeah.
And
The little you had the little Catholic school coin purse, right? When you were a kid?
the little like rubber clamshell thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I used to throw it like a frisbee at my friend's head.
Yeah. That's where you put your lunch money when you were in first grade.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I had one too.
Yeah.
Everybody had one. Brian, did you have one? Brian
Yes,
didn't have one?
I had
just
one.
checking.
Everyone had one. Yes, you listener, I know you had one. Don't say you
Yes,
didn't.
I went to a bank in the 90s. They gave them out like Skittles.
Oh, really?
Wait, were
Yeah.
Skittles like a hot commodity that people would give out a lot?
Skittles are always a hot commodity, man.
I've never been handed just free Skittles, like loose Skittles. It's always come in a bag.
Well, prepare yourself because on
What
Monday at
child
work
molester
there'll
were
be
you
some
hanging
Skittles
out with that was
waiting.
handing out loose Skittles?
Who says they had to be loose?
I just assume if you're going to
He
a
meant
bank,
little
they're not giving you
packs.
a
Maybe
pack.
little packs
The
of
little-
Skittles.
No,
like fun-size
I'm assuming
packs.
they have like a jar. And they're like, "Will you like some Skittles?" And they give them like 6 Skittles.
Oh no, that's just gross.
Well, like
They
a
need to be
communal
sealed.
Skitter.
Yeah, like
Skittles
a communal Skittle
bowl?
bar. Yep, that's
Ew.
right. Yeah, terrible. That's why I don't go to banks anymore.
No, you get like fun size like Skittles that come with like 4 Skittles in a package.
You're
Factory
fun-sized.
I am not, unfortunately.
It's a little odd. Anyway, let's go back to hoverboards.
I'm 6 foot tall. That is not fun size at all.
Let me go
That
back
is tall and awkward.
No, you're just awkward. It's just you. It's not. the
Oh,
fact
that
it's
doesn't
not your
come with the
height.
tallness?
No,
nothing
no.
To do with,
Oh.
nothing to do with the tallness.
Okay, well, I mean, I am tall.
it's just your height. God, wow! I would love. I can't wait to re-listen to this and hear how this tangent just came off. That's ridiculous.
We were talking about you hanging upside down. You started this.
I know. Well, I started a lot of things.
With all your hover flaws and all
Right.
your craziness.
I'm just
More
upset that
important-
you don't want a hoverboard. That just really upsets me.
It just doesn't seem like
Okay,
worth it
so
at
take
all.
away the food. All right, we know how you feel about the food. What else? What else do you want from Back to the Future time? What do you want from the October 21st, 2015 that we were supposed to have?
I think a Mr. Fusion would be cool for your
Yeah.
car. You know, that's the kind of technology I could get behind. Certainly a flux capacitor. I could get behind that technology as well.
I don't think anyone would be like, time travel? Nah, I'll pass. Of course everyone wants time travel.
Well, you're asking me what I want from the movie, and that's what I want.
No, what you want from the October 21st, 2015. Not everybody had a flux capacitor. So
But they had one.
that was exclusive to Doc Brown.
That was exclusive to Doc Brown.
And
It was
if
the
you want to
only
be
one in the
really
world.
technical, Doc Brown had that in 1985 too.
So there you go. What was it?
Okay.
I mean, I want Pepsi Perfect. It's coming out real soon.
It's
I want to
just
try
Pepsi.
it. Is it just
it's
Pepsi?
just Pepsi. It's gonna taste like shit, like every other can of Pepsi.
Wait,
Yeah, Pepsi is the
Yes.
first. So, yeah.
wait, no, you're not a Coke guy, are you?
I am a Coke guy. If I drink
yes.
soda at all,
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, Coke is far
Pepsi's
superior
way
to
too
Pepsi.
sweet.
No, dude.
Way too sweet.
Coke
Way
is
too- yep,
gross.
absolutely.
You can't
Hold on, I want to get. No, I've been waiting for this for a while.
possibly take Coke over. I don't even understand how
Yes,
the
you can.
math works on that.
It's very
Listen,
easy.
if I am at a restaurant and I go, I would like a Coke, and the waitress goes, is Pepsi okay? I go, no. Pepsi's not okay.
Right.
Either get me a Coke or get me nothing.
It's the
I'll
same.
take a beer.
I have the exact same approach. I just don't want Coke. I don't
Meh.
want it.
I don't know, man. That secret formula does something to me.
Apparently, I just don't. I don't understand. Like you go to the movie theater and there's a million different flavors or whatever, and I'm like, I'll have the ginger ale. That's
Well,
what I want.
Yeah, I mean, well, but there's like a million different flavors, so you can make
but
like raspberry
yeah, but
ginger
like
ale.
Coke is still the popular thing. It's still a Coke machine.
It is a Coke
Because
machine.
Coke
It's
is
all
the far
Coke
superior
products.
cola.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
not.
it is, but I mean,
It's got
it
like
is.
it has like tinier bubbles. Why does it have tinier bubbles?
Who cares about the size of the bubbles?
I do. I don't like it. It's gross.
The size of the bubbles are gross.
Yes.
How do you quantify the flavor
It-
of tiny bubbles?
Gross. It is how I quantify it. Gross.
Oh gosh. Oh,
I don't like it.
I'm sorry to hear that, Josh.
So if you
Except cherry Coke. I do enjoy cherry Coke.
do you like cherry Coke over wild cherry Pepsi?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because Wild Cherry
'Cause-
Pepsi is sweetness on top of the already ridiculously sweet
And
Pepsi.
the key problem with that is Pepsi. So obviously you like Coke
No,
better.
I literally feel myself getting diabetes when I drink Pepsi.
Yep.
I got to tell you, I mean, I don't know when the last time I had a soda like a cola was. Because generally my day is black coffee, water, and then beer or booze of some kind. So
By the way, it's in that order. It's not over a space of time. That's just the wake up protocol.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, in that order. Black coffee followed by water. Sometime around 7 a.m. beer, and then the rest of the day bourbons.
Sounds about right.
No, I don't. I generally don't drink anything but coffee or water like all day long. So I don't know. Going to a place and ordering a Coke, gross.
Ugh. Anyway, that's
Anyway,
yeah, that
Pepsi
makes
Perfect.
me sad.
That's gonna be fun. Here's what I would like.
You know the only thing that Pepsi did that was really good? The coffee Pepsi. Pepsi Kona.
Oh
was
god, that was
fantastic.
awful.
Oh, it was delicious. What are you talking
Didn't Coke
about?
do that too? They both did the same thing. I love blue Pepsi.
No.
I will give you
No, it
blue
was just Pepsi Kona. And it came out for like a month and I loved it and then it went away and now I'm sad. But other
What-
than that, Pepsi.
What do you
is
mean
awful.
Pepsi coffee? I don't understand what you're saying.
It's
Oh,
literally
God, I gotta Google it.
Google Pepsi Kona. Hang on.
no. It's cold coffee Pepsi.
Pepsi Cappuccino or Pepsi Chino.
Oh my god.
Yep, it
In the
existed.
90s.
Oh my god, look at the can. It looks like feces with a Pepsi logo on it, or as is
yeah.
commonly known as Pepsi.
I threw up.
That's disgusting. Ugh.
It
And
it
I
was
liked
delicious.
And I liked blue Pepsi, and I know disgusting, but I love that stuff.
What's blue Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Do you
was
not
awful.
remember blue Pepsi?
The can's blue, right?
No, it was the soda itself was blue.
No, why do you need to mess with the Pepsi? It's perfect the way it is.
No,
it's not
blue-
perfect. That's the
it's-
problem.
that is
It's
That's why they keep
perfect
messing
in
with
every
it.
way.
No, it
just
is
the
not.
way it is.
Oh no.
I'm not sure there's a single house in my family where you can like go get a Coca-Cola product.
It was
Well,
bare.
if your family is the benchmark for America, that would be great, but it's not.
You should go live in Georgia.
was
where all
very-
you can get is Coke.
anytime I went down to Florida, it was, hey, would you like a Coke? Yeah, okay. You want orange or Sprite? Wait, what?
Yeah, because all right,
Everything's
were,
Coke.
were you northern Florida, like Tallahassee up there?
At one point, yeah, driving down to like
Yeah,
Tampa.
So it's that, but that's not a Florida thing, right? That's a Georgia thing.
right, yes, everything is
Coke, right. Any soft drink is Coke.
Yes.
Well, everything is awesome then.
To clear up the blue Pepsi thing, by the way, it is a berry cola fusion flavor of
It's disgusting.
carbonated water and blue.
I'll say this: the only blue anything I've had to drink it's within like the last 6 months is that crazy blue Mountain Dew.
Oh, I love that stuff.
I had one of them, and
great.
I mean, it's, you want to talk about sweet? That thing's crazy.
Yeah.
It's Powerade Mountain Dew. Of course it's sweet.
Gross.
That's what it is. Yep. It's great to add some vodka to it. I'll tell you what.
No, dude, gross. What? Stop. Why are you adding anything to vodka? It's fine the way it is.
Because I like to watch you squirm.
Put like an ice cube in it. You're fine. Vodka rocks. Good. You don't need to put anything in that.
Anyway. No, so I decided my big my big takeaway for Back to the Future stuff that I would like to see is the self-drying jacket and self-drying clothes. Because I hate going to a water park, getting extremely wet, paying $5 apparently for like one of these drying stations. No, once I'm wet, I'm done. I'm going home. I'm not walking around the park all drippy wet. I want my clothes to dry.
That's what she said. I'm sorry. Probably not appropriate. You might need to cut that.
No, I'm good with that one.
That one's fine. That's staying in. Enjoy.
I feel like that's for every person who is both wet and wants to die. That's a great idea.
Why? Because electronics and water?
Because the heating element requires electricity, right? And unless
That's
you
what
have a
science is for.
No, man, it's still going to require a spark to ignite. So again, as long as you're cool with dying while you're drying, I think you're good.
I mean, it would make mafia hits a lot easier.
Right? There you go. We could use it as a way to kill people.
You just throw water on somebody and tell their coat to dry.
Right. You could spill Pepsi on them and they would die as they should because they had to endure Pepsi. And they died. That's what happened, Josh. Pepsi has just killed millions of people on self-drying clothes.
I hope every listener of this podcast has like the most fond Pepsi memories as a child and smites you.
Hashtag Pepsi happiness.
Yeah.
Not
exactly that thing.
Not going to happen.
But I don't see any commercials for Pepsi promoting how happy and get carefree I can be.
Don Draper did not make a Pepsi ad. He made a
Melissa's from the Northeast. She's got to be a Pepsi family, right?
I don't know what her preference is. This is not something that's come up in our travels, but I'm sure it will now.
Okay. Good to go.
Friendships divided over Coke versus Pepsi.
If she's a Pepsi friend, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
I also think I gotta put money on Paul being a Pepsi guy too.
No. Paul is an RC Cola guy.
Oh God, that's even worse.
He does not aspire to either camp.
Oh my God, RC Cola.
Well, yeah,
that's the worst of all the colas.
Was that all that was available when he was growing up?
I'm pretty sure. I think that's all they had.
Pepsi didn't make its way.
I have no idea
to his homeland.
My homeland, Chicago. Sorry,
Chicago.
I'm gonna stay with the Scrubs joke. Anyway, so instead of mentioning people that maybe the listeners don't know about, don't care about their cola preference, let's talk about some other things. Let's talk.
Jerry Seinfeld prefers Pepsi.
It's not you're not selling Pepsi any better.
Listen, I love Jerry Seinfeld, but his taste in soda products does not make me want to keep watching Seinfeld.
So, did you guys see the article I posted about MIT has this crazy like shape-shifting display little miniature block thing? Did you see this? I put it in Pocket.
So MIT created the nanobots from Big Hero 6?
Yes. It's kind of like, just like Josh said, someone watched Big Hero 6 and decided to make the little nanobots. So the other thing too is you can have someone on the opposite side of it, kind of controlling this interface, and their hand will actually kind of generate out of these blocks. And it can do levels, it can do up, it can do down, it can do left and right, and it can stack things. And what's cool is that you can actually program it to do something. So, later on down the road, these little tiny things can be kind of used to replace robotics or something that does complex tasks. So they say like building a car or building a phone or building components to things. And what's really cool is that, this technology is done right now. MIT is working on it. They use a Kinect camera to take the interface of something. So you hook up a Kinect to this, you hook it up to a special protocol in the computer, and then with your hands, as if you are there, you can manipulate a ball. You can hold something. So, even down the road, it could be a way that we could communicate with other people, or how we can, hold like teleconferences or stuff like that. It's a nice way to kind of have someone who's not in the room, maybe have something present, or do practical things like build a house or build a computer and kind of take it from that way. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's technology that's pretty damn exciting. The fact that it's kind of within our grasp is kind of creepy, because we fell behind from what the future and the Jetsons and everyone was telling us that we would have. And hell, we didn't even get a watch we could talk to until, but the Samsung, I think it was the Gear 2 that would do it. And, that wasn't anything like the Dick Tracy watch. So, technology is trying to catch up with what we've been promised over the years. And, Back to the Future is one of those movies that has unreasonable expectations of technology, and we're so far behind.
Well, I think there's a couple different ways to look at that. I think you can take your view, which is we don't have flying cars or hoverboards or talking watches, but I think you also need to look at how far beyond a lot of that stuff we've gone. The miniaturization, the advancements in audio, video, and home automation. The home automation in Back to the Future in 2015 was nowhere close to where we're at. Like, we were there by the year 2000 in home automation. So I don't know, man. I think that there's a couple different points of view there, and I think that you're looking at these big things like flying things, and you're missing all of the cool stuff that we have done.
So scale that down. Let's talk about home automation. What do we have that's blowing you away that most people have in their homes that they can say is automated? What's the scale of that? Yeah, like in Back to the Future, right? Everyone's
like a large portion of homes, you can control the temperature in your house, the lights from your phone.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Everyone in Back to the Future, every house, even the slums that the McFlys lived in, had a ton of features that were based out of home automation. And I don't think you can say the same about what's happening right now. Most people have the ability to turn on and off a light via a mobile app, but you can go turn off the light. People don't have cameras that tell them who's at the front door. People don't have some of those other features that were staples.
Of course they do. Of course they do. In every neighborhood, everywhere, there are cameras that feed directly to an app that's held on your phone. You can send text messages to people via handheld devices where there was stuff printing out of the walls.
Right.
It's
texting and the fax machine analogy, right? We went way beyond any bullshit that they had there. And
that's the miracle is the miniaturization of communication devices, right?
Right, but
the cool stuff is it recognizes that Jennifer's home. All that stuff is available, and it doesn't cost that much. Now, the adoption rate again is one of those things that it wouldn't matter, CJ, if that technology had been around for 50 years, the adoption rate still wouldn't be what that movie said. There's people without internet, and the adoption rate for the internet isn't 100%. So I don't think you can use that as a litmus for how far we've come. It's this stuff is readily available in, Walmart. You can buy it anywhere.
Right. And go ahead. I don't mean to make it as it's just like that. No, I think that you're right. The adoption rate part is totally off. And the fact that it's readily available, that really anyone, if they wanted it, can totally go ahead and buy it. And I'm not trying to say that we haven't come far, because we have blown stuff out of the water. Just strictly Back to the Future, compare and contrast. We have come in huge ways and leaps and bounds in some other things, but missed out on some other opportunities. Just looking at that movie.
I don't think we missed out on I don't think an opportunity for an internal combustion engine to fly was ever gonna ever be a mainstream thing within 30 years.
No, I agree.
I don't know. If I'm just being ridiculous, if I'm being extra Josh,
when we're talking about like this kind of home automation, again, it's all about the adoption rate. Like, it is readily available. I agree with Josh. You can get it anywhere, but there's people who don't want it. It boggles my mind that people don't have the internet. Al Gore invented that like years ago. But yeah, I mean, some people are just slow to jump on the wagon there, or some people will never jump on it.
Well, I mean, it's just like, so Apple and Google have all made all these connected, the Internet of Things devices and Siri enabled things, and HomeKit has been out now for close to 2.5 years, and yet no one really owns a HomeKit connected device in a mainstream capacity.
And yet every 3-year-old you've ever met can turn on, unlock an iPad, go to the internet, go to their favorite site, and start navigating, right, without being prompted or told to do how. Usually, I mean, if a family has an iPad, the kid knows how to switch the input on the TV, open Netflix, control it with the iPad. It's I think when we discount, and I don't know why it's a sore subject for me, but it always is. People take this view of the Jetsons and Back to the Future like, oh, we should have been way further along. And I think that the advances that have been made in technology in the past 30 years way, 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 way overshadow the flying car.
Well, I mean, even in the scope of just how far we've come, I mean, when you look at even the progression of the Wright brothers learning to fly, then going to the moon, that time span is freaking short. I mean, just holy crap. Did we just go, we need to do this, this is what's going to happen, and we just went from 0 to 60 lightning quick. And we're doing a lot of really cool things with technology, really awesome freaking things really fast. But no one's, maybe the sense of wonder is lost on me now, because it's just become commonplace.
Because
I think you're so inundated in it that, yeah, that the
you're also wrapped up in flight.
Well, that's true. All right, I didn't notice that until right
he really
now.
wants to be. You should have been a flight attendant.
Like every example you've given has been about the rapid advancement in flight. Well, hold on, from learning to fly to going to the moon. Well, that's great, except there's not a whole lot more we can do with flight.
So, I mean, even then, if you look at Moore's law, which just says that your transistor, the amount of transistors you should be able to place on a microprocessor just gets just smaller and smaller. You can put more, millions, billions of billions. Even that's starting to peak and climax, where we can't figure out where the next step is. We're coming to a tail end of
it's a plateau. You don't necessarily need it, right? When there's a reason to find a way to do that is cost effective and easily reproducible, then we will. But until then, there's a plateau, and you think of just about for how many years the desktop computer didn't evolve,
right?
And it was really probably a 30-year span, from sort of the late 70s until the mid 2000s. The desktop computer was still this big box, and everything since then, really since the mid 2000s, has just gone way down in scale. And that's the leap. That's where you're talking about going from flying to go to the moon. That's what we just did. It just happened.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just again, you're so inundated with all this stuff that you aren't amazed by anything anymore. And that's really sad, honestly. You want the big advancements like hoverboards and flying cars.
I really don't care about flying cars.
Well, it's just an example. You want the freaking face changer from Minority Report, or to be able to just scan your eyeballs and have a freaking.
I would like that.
We are hey guys, we're not
so
far off from. We are not
right. Exactly.
We're at that. We're not that far off. I log into my Facebook. Yeah. All the ads that I want are there.
It's the stuff that you've recently viewed on Amazon. There's an ad on Facebook. Look, that's brilliant stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
So, but that's the same thing as walking into a store.
But you're not impressed with it because it's not like, ooh, wow. And here's the other thing. If we're going to measure our advancement by what movies said we should be in, what happened to the franchise wars? Why isn't Taco Bell the only restaurant around? I'm just saying.
That is what I do want to know, why you won't accompany me to Taco Bell.
I would love to accompany you
because Dennis Leary didn't lead a revolution.
That's not why the franchise wars happened. First of all, Second of
I know,
all,
but that's the only
I want to
reason
go to
why
a fancy
Bell's
Taco
around.
Bell in a nice suit and tie and get a lovely burrito.
You can do that. Go down to Hilton
You know what's
Head's.
funny is that they were all sort of wearing kimonos.
Yeah.
They weren't
they
really
were.
like,
Yes, they were.
everybody was
And
dressed
what's
like
with the three
Goku
seashells?
or Goku or
Where are
whatever
my
the
three
guy's name
seashells? And where are the instructions on how to use them?
Do not open a three seashells debate.
just curse a bunch and get a bunch of demerits.
just don't.
That's the thing.
Well,
Do that.
So listen, and maybe I came across the wrong way, and I do apologize. Listen, there's a lot of technology that's coming out that's just freaking mind blowing. There's
Just think about
there's these wireless headphones that are really freaking tiny. They're called pugs, and they kind of have magnetic straps to them so that way you can't lose them. And there's just a wire just connecting the two of them so they don't fly away. And they're actually going to be charged by your cell phone, which is like the most logical thing ever. That your cell phone holds such amount. I mean, the amount of battery life in that thing is ridiculous. And
Not
if you're
mine.
using these headphones and you're well, use low power mode, you son of a bitch.
why would I do that?
If you can go ahead and charge your headphones via your phone, that's really cool. The amount of technology that we can just say you're carrying around a battery with you or you're carrying around a communication device with you that has power to it, why not make it power other things? That's stuff we couldn't do 4 years ago. Even 4 years ago, we couldn't do that. And now the fact that technology is moving that fast, that's pretty exciting. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, hey, we don't have flying cars and hoverboards. It's 2015. Well, fuck it. We're in the Stone Age. There's still a lot to be celebrated and stuff like that. So what's the coolest piece of technology that we have now? What is the piece that's the killer thing that you think is whatever? We don't have hoverboards. We have blank.
What will this generation be defined by?
Yeah. That's a
The
better way to put it.
smartphone. The smartphone.
No, I mean, seriously, think.
Oh God, I hope.
Think
not.
about it.
I really don't want to be judged by social media.
You're right.
but I really don't want to.
I got to tell you this. I read something from a post. I read a post on Facebook today that I thought, yeah, this is the exact reason why I don't ever go on Facebook anymore. And it's I'm not going to name the person because I'm not sure whether she's a listener or not. I don't want to just out her just in case it. But it's one of these things where Facebook used to be a place I could go to and talk shit to my friends. And once upon a time, Facebook used to be a way for me to talk shit to my friends and share funny pictures. Then old people came along and turned it into a bitch fest where everyone became offended by everything. The end. And
that's so hardly true. And the internet
that's why
too.
I don't go on there. I don't. It just ever because it's just everybody's a troll. Everybody's got something to say. Just it wasn't supposed to be that. But I think, Brian, you're right. I think that more than anything, the smartphone, the social media, when you look at the advancements, that's what we've made. The ability to connect to people in a meaningful way using something that can go everywhere with you.
So since we're not, I mean, we haven't hit the peak of this. There's obviously so much more coming before it becomes just so boring and mundane that we don't even we lose all the wonder of it.
Smartphones is pretty much it's peaked. I mean, there's not a whole lot more you can do with it, and that's good.
I can have it in my wrist.
That's
its own separate thing.
And that
it's not like a Pit Boy or something.
No,
like
he means
from Leela.
I think Brian. Yeah, we're talking about the wrist thing with
communicators.
a projected hologram and a.
Right.
That's a hoverboard. That's the same thing as a hoverboard. So it's just one of those what more could you really want? And when you CJ, it even meets your adoption rate quota, so to speak. You know what I mean? You look around and who doesn't have one?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That it's a great gateway into some amazing things that can really rule the technology. What's the what's the Amazon product that is like a smart assistant? Almost
the Echo.
The Echo. I mean, that thing is absolutely crazy.
It is a complete piece of crap.
Is it really?
Yeah, we have a couple of them in our office in San Francisco, and I was there all week, and there was one in the middle of the conference room. And it would just randomly turn on and start playing music. It would, nobody said the word music.
Right.
It would just randomly turn on. And then when you would tell it, Alexa, turn off, or Alexa, be quiet, it would turn the volume up. It would, it just wasn't very functional. And here's the other thing. I don't know what it was connected to.
Right. But that's the idea, is that this should all start turning into seamless things that you can just easily control your house with. And what I'm saying too is like my dad, incredibly smart, the engineer. I mean, you heard the episode with him. The guy obviously knows his shit. Doesn't have any of the home automation things, or doesn't really have anything that can be controlled by his electronic device. And here I am. I have a Wemo Switch, an Xbox One I can control with my phone, and I'm clamoring for more. It's just not something that's within my grasp financially.
No, it's different.
That Xbox One.
That's the part right there, is that some of the technology that really is driving some innovation, or even those future ideas of a connected house, or even just a connected world that way, has kind of fallen on its face. Things that seemed really promising kind of burned out, didn't turn into what we thought they would be.
Such as?
Like what, CJ?
So, sure. So, I mean, well, I forget the year. It was in probably the early 90s, late 80s. Bill Gates went to CES and gave the example of the connected world through Microsoft, that everything was going to be controlled by Windows, your house, your oven, able to turn things on and off. And the smartphone came in and kind of took the place of like the central hub of your home. That became the smart thing in your house. Everything kind of runs through that. But, I mean, I can't do a whole lot of home security stuff without having to spend an arm and a leg, to get it installed.
Wait. Lois, this is not my Batman cup. No, seriously. So I think that you're wrong, and here's why. Because
can this
you're
be another
saying,
episode where we tell CJ's wrong all the time?
It's fine with me. Let's go.
No, not like wrong in that. I think you're looking at it from the wrong angle. Like what you just said is in whatever time, very super non-specific. Somebody, you think it was Bill Gates.
No, it was Bill Gates.
Okay, Windows connected world, and then you said, but it costs an arm and a leg. But here's the thing, it's available, and is less costly than you think. People just nobody knows how to install it. You need to be savvy to install it, right? The software takes time to program, to configure, and that doesn't mean it's not available. Every home in America could be fully automated for a few $1,000s, and people just go, I choose to spend my money on other things. That doesn't mean it's available and not available. There are entire, office buildings, compounds that are completely automated, man. And again, it's just about what you're willing to spend.
Well, see, part of the perspective comes to me for this. When you get a lot of big companies like Brinks and Swan and all those companies that make those huge home security things, they're really expensive. So people go to Kickstarter, engineers get together, all these people come over and make their idea. They go to Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and they say, hey, here's a really cool product. We've got the technology down. We obviously need to, to get a little better at it. Help us out. And then years, 2-3 years later, the product still isn't, to market. And it says, oh, well, it's only going to be $100, but it's
and the reason
4 years
for
down
that
the road.
is because it's nowhere near as good as the products that are already available. It's not as good. It doesn't work.
Well,
and if you're on Kickstarter and you can't get it off Kickstarter, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good enough.
Right, but what I'm saying is things from Kickstarter don't hit mass. They inspire other companies to rip off their idea.
It would if they were good, but they're not. So companies with the capacity and the ability to create do. It's just not, I mean, I get what you're saying. You've got this, you always like the little guy.
I do. I like the little guy.
That's great. But CJ, it doesn't mean it's not available. Like it's already available. Does people choose not to adopt because of the cost or the inconvenience or?
Well, the other thing too is sometimes the actual security feature of it. And I don't mean like keeping people out. It's a major company. If they want to know the faces that can unlock my door, the other question is, well, what are you doing with those faces? What is the privacy, with what you're doing?
Well, now you just have a trust issue,
right?
well, yeah, but I mean, like the little guys, they're not trying to sell my face.
When you updated your iPhone, did you click I agree?
Yeah, and
did you read what they were doing with all of your information?
I can be the human centipede.
Then just trust people. Seriously, CJ, it's okay to trust once in a while. I know you've been hurt before. I know someone in the past hurt you in a way that makes you want to listen to REM, Everybody Hurts, on repeat. But when it comes to your technology, you're okay.
So I'll go to the tail side of this. When we ask what would this generation be remembered by, or what is the thing that is their lasting impression, you're absolutely right. Social media and smartphones.
Snapchat.
Like, absolutely.
I'm sorry, Snapchat.
But yes, but the God. But see, even right there, the privacy of the things is the tail end of that. And privacy has become such a crazy, absolutely.
If you want to be
driving
private, don't put your shit out there.
Right, but what I'm
We're
saying
going
is some
analog.
things that you don't
We're just
even
gonna write everything
think
down,
are out there.
delete
are
ourselves
out there.
from the grid.
This podcast will be delivered by us coming to your house. It'll be
I
a
taught
tour.
myself how to write everything in its mirror image.
So let's talk about go back to the Future a bit. The Back to the Future with Biff, when he made all the charges and he was in charge. It's a very different future than the one that Marty went to in the beginning. While it was still not exactly rainbows and unicorns and butterflies when he went the first time, it certainly didn't get
Not
better.
the
with
future.
Right, it wasn't.
It's
it was
1985.
Right. So
where Biff is all supreme overlord.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
An alternate 1985.
It
Yes.
wasn't the future.
Okay.
I feel like you need to watch Back to the Future again.
I'm trying to get to a point and I messed up in my hurry to get there.
Oh, okay. So you're
Right.
wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus. You can't just let me go, can you?
Nope.
And now I forgot where I was going. It was pretty.
Your point.
pretty good
Your
now.
point.
Biff
was
did
rendered
something
moot
and
by
ran
the
for Yeah, I know.
president
or
a long
something.
Yep,
time.
absolutely
Correct.
it was. Yeah, well, there goes 20 minutes.
Anyway, I don't know what point CJ was
When
trying
I
to
search
make
on
about
Google,
Biff.
There's nothing I have that can go from that to that. The segue is impossible.
Ooh, segues are impossible. There's a technology we shouldn't have.
That sounds about right.
I would like to try a Segway. I want to try those ones without the bar.
Yeah, that's basically Marty McFly breaking the hoverboard to make it a hoverboard.
That
know.
looks like I'm just gonna fall on my face.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to fall on my face.
Can I watch? I would
Because I'm uncoordinated.
I would tape that
Because I'm
put them on
tall and
YouTube have a
awkward.
second. So here's actually a really cool thing that actually is reality, and I would love to see more of. There is a town in the UK that just got Wi-Fi enabled sidewalk, and I really wish I was making that up because it sounds really fucking cool. But
Because your 4G is not enough.
well, here's the deal: it's 166 megabits per second delivered through this entire town through Virgin Media. It's absolutely 100% free. You just need to download an app or be a Virgin like mobile subscriber, Virgin Media subscriber, and it's powered by DOCSIS 3, and it's faster than any kind of 4G connection, even in Europe. At that point, 166 megabits per second for free, powered through the sidewalk. That's crazy
Okay.
talk. Put that in New York and watch everyone go crazy. Put that in San Francisco.
You say Wi-Fi sidewalks. I think two things. First of all, how much freaking money did that cost to actually operate and to do that on a large scale like New York City? You're talking like billions upon billions.
It's Richard Branson
And
in that part.
secondly-
He's got it. He's got the money to spare.
Well, the funny thing is, I wonder why they didn't just blanket the towns with rooftop routers like everyone else.
Because they're exposed to more elements. They're not as durable as the technology that they put actually underground to cover the technology. It's water
you ever-
resistant.
You
Go
ever
ahead.
look at a pavement after like the winter?
Yeah, that's why they have special material for the sidewalk that isn't exactly concrete or other pavement that is more durable than that. You ever see the liquid concrete? You ever seen this? People can
Concrete's
pour
always liquid before it hardens.
Yes. There's a type of pavement that will actually absorb water underground, hold it, and actually save it for like droughts and things like that. That looks just like concrete, but you can pour hundreds and hundreds of gallons on it, and it's
Now you
dry
see,
within
that's
seconds.
amazing. Yet you're like all like, oh,
If you say fucking
hoverboards.
flying cars, I'm going to punch you in the
No,
testicles.
you know what? All right, so I'm reading more about it. It's actually it's not. It's just blocks. It's like a special block every however many 80 meters,
Right.
something like that. Okay, no, I can get behind that.
That's
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, it's basically Brian. So it's basically like a manhole cover that has a router under it, and it's it's fine. Yeah, it looks great, and the speed is ridiculous. I wonder if there is practical application in larger cities, or if they'll stick with the more commonly used routers. But this is really cool.
the technology behind this is pretty fascinating, and the fact that it didn't cost an arm, a leg, and $18 trillion in federal funding of some sort, just done by Virgin Media, is ridiculous. You just take one town and instantly turn it into part of the future town where everything can start to be connected by a crazy fast internet.
That's pretty cool.
I want to see that in more, like, that's the technology that's really exciting. That's the shit that Back to the Future couldn't even comprehend or even think of or fathom. The kind of stuff that we could come up with.
Well,
now.
yeah, Al Gore didn't invent the internet yet. Wi-Fi was not a reality.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the kind of things that's the stuff that wows me. That's the wonder. Holy crap. How did we just connect? Just like you said, Josh, the internet adoption rate in the world is pretty poor. It's not everybody. And even projects like Google has the balloons and Facebook's trying to bring the internet through internet.org to more people. The way that you could start delivering it on such a large scale is pretty incredible. That's the stuff that, I would love to see in the future. See future videos of stuff like that connected. Not romanticizing it, like what's practical.
I think that's certainly more realistic than hoverboards. Right. So I like it. It's cool. I think that we need to continue to find ways to make it easier. But then once we make it easier, then there needs to be a way to make it free.
Well, that's basically what the Virgin. But that right there, that project that you're reading is free
for everyone. I'm talking about
right.
That from the Kingsman, right? Free calls, free internet for everyone forever.
But see that right there,
and then everybody dies.
But that's right. But that's the thing. Anytime anyone's ever done hey, here's a huge Gmail, entirely free, everyone can have it. Come on down. By the way, we're just going to read everything. We're going to make sure that we know what's going on.
So what?
What?
There's a cost. Yeah, who cares? If you what do you really have to hide that you're doing in Gmail, dude?
No, nothing. But I don't want the pictures of my daughter being data mined for something. I don't get the fuck off my shit. That's mine.
But you share them on social media.
Not all of them.
You share pictures though, right?
Yes, of course I do.
You take pictures with your iPhone?
Yes.
I mean, all of that is automatically available.
But Apple's not data mining my photos. Apple's not looking at my shit and figuring out how to sell me something with it.
But you don't know that.
Yes, we do.
Plus
because
the fact that they can just put an Apple on anything and CJ will
literally,
buy it.
No, hold on. That's literally why when Apple was summoned to give over iMessages, they wanted a live encryption, a live feed of someone's iMessages.
I know. It's all this. I know. These are all the things that are said, but you don't know. No, you don't know.
But
nobody knows. You don't know.
The shadow knows.
The shadow does know. The Illuminati knows too. But what, you can't even give them the benefit of the doubt of that Google admits to it?
I am
giving
them the benefit. I'm saying I don't care, so I just keep doing what I do.
But see,
I'm not going to stop taking pictures of my kids with my phone because I don't care where it goes. I choose what to share on social media, and that's shared by me. If some agency somewhere is, I don't care if they're looking. As far as I'm concerned, they're keeping me safe. That's why I don't share much. You know what I mean? It's not
right. I get that. You're being smart and controlling it that way.
When I do, I don't care where it goes. I don't care. Because if someone is using it, if they're using the technology that whatever data mines, that stuff at the end of the day is used by agencies to keep us safe, and that's all I care about. I don't care what else they use it for.
I don't have pictures of kids to share on Facebook, so I have nothing to add. I mean, I have, pictures, some of them.
I get the security aspect of what you're saying, but it just the fact that they can use it for everything else, and if it just so happens to keep me safe, that's fine. I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Taking a picture of me, right, putting it on a poster for, erectile dysfunction, but then the fact that I was in New York 6 months ago and ruling me out of a possible terrorist threat, or they stopped something because, they had a location, they knew how many people were at the Statue of Liberty. That's not what I agreed to.
Who cares? Who cares what you agreed to?
So, two things. One, did you just admit you have erectile dysfunction?
No.
Nobody believes you.
Nobody believes you. Nobody.
Well, good thing.
Two, the point of this conversation, I believe Josh's point is, nothing is ever truly free. And if you're going to take advantage of it, you need to be able to man up and deal with the consequences. You
not
know what
only
you're getting
man
into.
up, but just accept it.
You know what you're getting into. And when you click on the I accept, or you create a Facebook account, or you create an account, that is what you're agreeing to. So deal with it. Now I have a third point. If we can have Wi-Fi all over our streets, why can't I put high-powered magnets all over it and then hover via magnetism?
You could.
It's very true.
You absolutely could. You could do that.
I just want a hoverboard so bad.
You could.
I just think like the
Wait a minute. He gets to get a hoverboard and want a hoverboard real bad, and no one sicks any dogs on him.
I'm not saying the technology is crap because I don't have a hoverboard.
Like a practical way to do it. The problem is it would just take like an entire crew of people moving the magnets down his path.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That's totally practical that way.
No, I didn't say it's
slave labor to
practical.
move
I just
magnets.
said that,
You're right. No, you're
he
right.
figured out a way to do it.
Listen, you just created a bunch of jobs. It's slave labor. I get it. You're right. You're absolutely right. Sounds
I didn't
perfect.
say anything about slave labor.
I'm
sure Brian would pay them a fair wage.
I would pay them, and they will
magnets.
get benefits.
I'm assuming Google just wouldn't pay them. That's what I'm saying.
His friendship is one of those benefits.
Those poor sons of bitches. I had to deal with that every day.
They'd be Brian's troop of hover tears or whatever they are.
They'd be in my posse. I would finally have a posse.
It sounds all terrible and stupid.
One of them can carry a boombox and play theme songs.
We have said some dumb.
Not like a Beats pill, like a giant boombox from like the 80s.
You have to have, if you're going to have an entourage, one has to have a boombox.
Absolutely. And that's the guy with the sweet kicks.
We said some dumb things on this show, and this is by far the dumbest.
Not a chance. This is not even close to as dumb as you going, I want to use all the social media, but I don't like that people can see what I do.
No, that's not my problem. It's not the visibility of it. It's the fact that I shouldn't. I don't have control over it at the end of the day.
I have faith in the new Star Wars movie, but not in Batman Superman. We've had dumber conversations.
Sorry.
We've centered entire episodes around dumb things.
Oh, CJ. It's just like I just don't like.
I just walk into all of these, don't I?
No, how do you always pick the wrong side to end up on?
I have
like
no
how
idea.
do you and like
listen, if I'm ever passionate about something, you know that you're in the right. If I'm really passionate about something, you're like, okay, well, clearly I don't feel the way he does, so I'm in the majority here.
That's
I
how
could run for president
my life.
apparently, and I could win because I'm wrong, and a lot of people, would see past that.
Just all your crazy half-baked theories.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I was going to have a conversation about Google Cardboard and Coin, but I'm just going to shut up about it now.
Oh my God. Can we please talk about Coin?
Nope.
Josh, I have a story for you.
Fuck you. I'm not talking about
I have a story
Coin.
for you.
I want to hear the story.
About the wonderful device that is Coin. So
don't do this.
As you know, Coin is CJ's little programmable card. And he's like, I can take all of my credit cards and all of my store cards and program into this one convenient device. And it's great, right? In theory, it sounds amazing. So we go to Burger King for lunch today, and he's like, I'm going to pay using my Coin. I was like, dude, what if it doesn't work? Do you have another card? He's like, no, I don't. It's worked here before. I'm like,
it has worked there before.
No one believes you, just like your erectile dysfunction. He's like, it's worked here before. It's no problem. So I give it to the chick because we're in the drive-thru. She swipes it through. She swipes it through again. She swipes it through about 6 more times. And then she's like,
it was 3.
I need to manually put this in. Here's the problem. The full number's not on there because it's all programmed in the computer chip that is in that card.
You're giving her the picture of the card.
What's a CJ to do when he doesn't have a backup credit card? I thought the whole point of Coin was that he didn't need to carry his credit cards. Point being, I ended up paying for lunch. You're welcome, CJ, and your Coin sucks.
My Coin does not suck, first of all. It works at 80% of the merchants. It's worked at that Burger King before. Apparently, that POS system doesn't.
Hang on. Can you answer me one question? Because this is a math question. I'm not really good at math. Is 80% anything like 100%?
It's like, but it isn't.
No. So is 80% 100%?
No.
No. Okay. So
Right.
you still need a backup card in your wallet.
Yeah, which I have.
So you still should probably carry your credit cards on you.
Right. I carry.
So you really negating why you have a coin. You really shouldn't have that coin is what I'm hearing.
Should have just gone inside of the goddamn Burger King.
It wouldn't have worked either way.
Yes, it would have. It worked inside the Burger King.
We would have been in air conditioning while I made fun of you. It would have been no different.
It would have worked inside.
Oh, the credit card machines inside the BK Lounge are different from the drive-through credit card machine.
Inside they throw ketchup at you.
They do.
And Hank with the poncho, he knows how to use the coin. So if I go in and see him,
You know what? That's fine.
we're
You know what?
good.
Keep talking about it. This is not
Hashtag
making
CJ's
it.
embarrassment.
I would love to see you do that. And I clearly state in the article that it works at 80% of merchants. Burger King is one of them, just apparently not the drive-through.
80% of merchants.
Yeah.
Is not 100%. So
No
you having nothing
shit,
else in your
Sherlock.
you having
I
nothing
never
else in your
said it
wallet.
was 100%. I didn't say it worked everywhere.
My point is, until it works 100%, there's no point in having it.
That's not true.
That absolutely is true.
It's not true at all.
So it's kind of why I never use Apple Pay.
That's exactly why I don't use
It's
Apple
like
Pay.
saying that your cell phone only works in most of the country, but because when you go to the Vegas or you go to the desert and it doesn't work, you shouldn't have a cell phone. Your
Okay.
cell phone works in 80% of your places.
I'm not just chilling out in the Sahara with my cell phone wondering why I don't have
But
signals.
No. Your thing is,
But
if
you
it
know
works
when my
80%,
cell phone does work?
if it only works 80% of the places, you shouldn't have it. So if your cell phone only
You
works
know
in 80%
where my
of
cell
America,
phone does work?
you
Well,
shouldn't have
At
it.
the Burger King drive-thru. My cell phone works there.
But if it only works 80%, you shouldn't have it. That was
what
the
he's
crux of
saying.
the
What
argument.
he's saying is that if that's all you take with you, then
But
you're
that's not what
you're
he's
not.
saying. That's what he wants to say, but that's not what he said.
Oh,
He
much
actually
like
did
you
say-
make a point without making
if I
a
wanted
point.
to live off the coin, hell yeah, it better work 80% of the place. That's why I had my Bank of America card with me.
CJ, what cards did you have in your wallet today? Your coin and what else?
Bank of America.
That had how much money?
Only a few bucks.
Oh, so you were screwed no matter what.
No, because it works on the inside of
So
Burger King.
you were screwed no matter what.
How
What
does
I'm
it work?
hearing-
It's the same POS system.
It's not the same POS system. I can tell you definitively it's not the same
Listen,
POS
your
system.
your inside knowledge of fast food joints aside,
My wife
credit
was a
card machine
manager
is a
for
credit
fast
card
food
machine.
for 16 years.
I don't
They
care
use
where
different POS
Listen,
systems in the
I don't
drive-thru
care what
than you do-
Watergate scandal you got the information from.
Used it at McDonald's last night. This is dumb. Let's move on.
when you went to
cutting this all out,
McDonald's,
so we're
did
just
you
wasting
get a
time.
sausage McMuffin with egg?
No, because you can't get a McMuffin in this place. You can only get the I'm sorry. You're right. No, because I want a biscuit, not a muffin, because I'm not a communist.
What?
I want a
you
sausage
definitely
biscuit.
are
I do
MK
not
Ultra.
want a sausage McMuffin. I want
Sausage
a sausage
McMuffin
biscuit.
with egg.
Biscuit over
Gross.
muffin.
You
Any
like
day of the week.
if you get a biscuit, you,
as
you better
American
have,
as it gets, I do not want an English muffin on my sausage biscuit.
bro. I'm pretty sure that the British don't eat.
They
English
don't.
muffins.
I don't
I'm
care.
also pretty sure that the British are partially responsible for America. So you can't get any more American than English, really.
I'm just gonna walk away soon.
Biscuits are. You need like a vat of water if you order a biscuit. Like, and not only that,
A biscuit, it literally is the most American.
somehow,
biscuit thing you could ever
so you
get.
have a biscuit, right? And let's just call it. Let's say it's a 4-ounce biscuit.
Wait, hold
I
on
don't
a
know how
minute.
big it is.
Can we somehow figure out? Never mind. Go ahead.
No,
Just
but
go
here's what
figure it
happens,
out.
right? So you have this biscuit, right? And by the time you're done eating the biscuit, like let's say you were sitting at a table, not in a car, right? But at a table eating
Right.
on the biscuit, eating the biscuit.
Yes.
By the time you've consumed the whole biscuit, there are enough crumbs on your plate to put together another biscuit. How is that possible?
You want the bits? It's a twofer. It's bigger on the inside.
It's not a
perfect.
twofer. It's so dry that it completely disintegrates the
biscuits.
moment you start to eat
I
it.
would literally hope that all English muffins fall off the face of the planet and all that's left are biscuits.
English muffins have like a chewiness, right? You gotta.
I hate the McMuffin.
There's something.
I hate
there's
the
something
McMuffin.
wrong with you.
I love biscuits.
Not the McMuffin, dude. The
I hate-
sausage muffin with egg.
All right. I hate the muffin
And
biscuit
I don't.
sandwiches.
I don't ever go to McDonald's for breakfast ever because it's gross compared to any breakfast you can get anywhere else.
except
but-
for any fast food place. That's clearly the better fast food breakfast. McDonald's.
If you can go to a fast food place, then you have the time to go to a Panera and get a decent breakfast.
True.
That's all but that's not fast food. Like
I don't
it's
call
like
Panera fast food. I just
It's a real egg with real sausage, and if
Agreed.
you put it in your glove box and left it there for a year,
It
it's
would
not
still be
going to be
okay.
this.
right.
It's not going to be the same thing like
Yeah,
McDonald's,
right. No,
right?
I agree.
So I'm just saying, A, biscuit is ridiculous. B, you also have that foldy over egg thing
I
that
don't
they
know
do.
what I'm doing with any of this stuff. What are we doing?
It's just not good. You shouldn't.
We're not using any of this.
You have to use this
Can
stuff.
we get back on track to something for this?
I didn't even know
podcast?
what we were talking about. besides
anything
your
at this
coin.
point, just anything to get back onto any kind of subject matter for this podcast would be great. Fill another 10 minutes in this thing.
I almost think you should just play this whole thing unedited.
This is
just lay the
terrible.
tracks.
This is awful.
Just lay all the tracks over
Can
each
I
other and let it rip.
apologize to
Let her
anyone who
rip.
has to listen to this episode? It's awful.
Let her rip.
Anyway, I have nothing to summarize. This episode's crazy.
So today in this episode, we argued about Back to the Future, future technology, why hoverboards don't exist, and breakfast foods. Oh,
Let her,
CJ's
and then
coin
let her
sucks.
rip. Grip it and rip it, CJ.
Honestly, it was a light week this week.
I watched Fury. That was pretty awesome.
That was a great movie. The tank movie,
Are
right?
you talking about the tank movie?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
that was great.
You just saw Fury?
Yeah, well, it's I need to be in a certain kind of mood to watch a heavy war film like that. And
It's heavy.
It's
that's what I'm
absolutely
saying,
no.
like,
It's crazy. But how
I
did you
can't-
just watch this movie?
because I have to be in, like, I don't know, a certain kind of mood. I can't
Does
really
it only
describe
happen
it any
once
other
every
way.
3 years? I don't understand.
It's one of those things where, like, a lot of those war movies they're just so emotionally heavy that I like those movies I haven't watched 10 times, right? Like,
You shouldn't. But that
No, I
movie
know,
literally
like-
came out a year ago, like today.
it doesn't matter. I didn't see The Hurt Locker for a year. You know what I mean?
How did you go past the Hurt Locker?
Because I know what kind of movie, I know what to expect, and I can't, like, it had won all the awards and all, and then I watched.
What about Lone Survivor? Did you see Lone Survivor yet?
I still haven't watched Lone Survivor.
I haven't either.
It's CJ. It's one of those
Wow.
things, man. It's just so I can't.
So-
I'm not saying watch them on repeat, but like, I mean, you could get through all a Band of Brothers and not,
No,
have
I
PTSD or
have
shell
to,
shock.
no, man. I can't watch. I can't binge watch that like I do anything else.
wow.
It's so emotionally real.
Yeah.
That I just can't.
So what
handle
did you?
it.
I'm sorry. So what did you think of Fury? What were your overall?
I thought it was,
impressions?
my God, I thought it was phenomenal. I thought, as much as, you know, you want to slap Percy Jackson around there in the beginning of it, man, did he come into the fold with that team, and Shia LaBeouf's character was just so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
His character was my favorite. He did, I thought, a phenomenal job. I mean, obviously, you know, Brad Pitt steals the show pretty much wherever he goes, but and then that what's his name? Frank Castle. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Yeah, you got it.
yeah.
From The Walking Dead.
John
that guy.
Berthenol.
Yes.
Again, just it's one of those things where my favorite types of movies have fewer than 10 characters, really main characters.
Right.
And this was a great one. I mean, just phenomenally written and very well acted, and I mean, even the things that were done in silence, the nonverbal communication in this movie was phenomenal. I loved it. It was very, very difficult, not hard to watch, but like, you know, keep both your eyes open and not freak out type movie.
Yeah, and it's, you know, just like you said too, the ability to have scenes or even long sections of absolutely no, you know, dialogue and just nonverbal communication is incredibly hard. And
The whole movie was like the Bastogne episode of Band of Brothers.
Mhm.
And anyone who's watched Band of Brothers, I mean, it is
and
hard to watch Bastogne.
the thing that, and believe it or not, this actually ties into another topic. The director of that movie, who also wrote it, is going to be directing and writing the Suicide Squad movie. So, I mean, you want to talk about?
Interesting.
Yeah,
He
he's
also
doing
did.
Suicide
He also wrote Training Day.
Oh, Antoine Fuqua is doing Suicide Squad?
No, I thought it
No,
was
that's the director of
the-
Training Day.
yeah, the
David
writer.
Ayer wrote it.
David Ayer. Yep.
You said the director.
No, said the writer, didn't I?
You said writer.
I said
Okay.
writer.
This is one time where CJ's right.
You heard
Okay,
director.
I thought he said writer and director, and I remember Antoine
no.
Fuqua did Training Day.
Yeah, no, he this is the writer of it.
Okay.
So he's going to do Suicide Squad. So I mean, the guy's obviously got a good lineage of movies under his belt. I think he did End of Watch too. Did he do End of Watch?
Yeah,
That's another one of those it's I can't watch.
I haven't seen that just because that style of film I can't do.
No, I saw it and I haven't watched it again because it's just very like Flight, very heavy.
Yep. Oh, Flight. Goddamn Flight. I wanted him to turn his life around so many goddamn times.
Can you not ruin that movie for me? I haven't seen it.
So many opportunities to make different choices, and he just doesn't make the choice that you wanted to make. Brian, you're going.
That's what we call pulling a CJ.
Yes, that sounds good. Yeah, no, this is totally in the episode. This is actually better than anything we.
I love the coin story. I love the coin story.
Yeah,
it's not happening. Let's end it here.
Oh,
this has been a very fun
happening.
ride and an interesting conversation. And you want to talk about just a flow of consciousness? Holy crap! Did we get one today? So thank you, listener, for braving through episode 27. So next week, we're actually going to have John Negroni on our podcast. He was the author of The Pixar Theory. We did a whole episode about it, ironically enough, called The Pixar Theory. So go ahead and check that out so you give a little background. The conversation is going to be much more structured and it's going to be a lot tighter, so we'll have some good points of conversation ready for John. So John's going to come graciously onto our podcast next week. Really look forward to that, so please stay tuned for next week's episode of That Kind of Nerd Podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for making us your walk around the neighborhood or your drive to work. We really seriously can't appreciate it anymore. Please tweet at Brian that the cat to mail ratio is very low. I just want to make sure that we just flood his Twitter with it. So if anyone has it, just go ahead and do it. And I'm thinking of making t-shirts. So if you're interested in getting That Kind of Nerd, the cat to mail ratio is very low t-shirt, just let me know. And if you want to design it, let's put it on our website. We'll let people vote as to which shirt they like the best. I think that's something that we could do. So again, thank you so much for all your time and listening to the episode. Have a great day. All right, let's end that.
We're totally past your argument. No one cares.
Can you wait? Do you have a laugh track you can add? No.
Your piece of paper saying arts doesn't automatically give you +5 to creativity.
And I had always thought that dogs laid eggs, and now I learned something. CJ Millen, Moment Killer. Nice to meet you. That's what I do. But so seriously, you don't give a crap about flying cars. You rather just have dehydration.